Hi everyone, so welcome to today. We have Majid. He is has been working on Solana for some time, and he's building game for a very long time. So I hope everyone will enjoy today workshop, and you can have more idea on how to build game. So let's get started. Majid, can you tell us more about yourself and what are you going to present today?
Yes, hello, my name is Majid. I'm a founder of Matter Squad and Playpax Games. I'm making game for a very long time, as Ipo said. Almost 20 years. I made a lot of game, more than 50. And I work for many studios, small indie studios, startups to very big AAA studios. And today I want to talk about how we come up with the idea of games. So this is the short workshop about how we create ideas, how we find them, how we actually build them step by step. So shall we start the workshop, or you have more questions?
Okay, I think you can start the workshop. I think we have an audience on Discord
Okay.
and yeah, so let's start.
Okay. So how do we come up with a hit game idea? So this is a very tricky question. During my career, I almost 20 years. Uh, I create a lot of ideas for very different games, from PC games, mobile game, hyper casual, action shooter, VR, AR, web, basically everything. So one of the question people often ask me is how you come up with the idea? Do we actually create these ideas? Or is there a way to do that? Is there a practice actually to come up with these ideas? Because we cannot just generate ideas randomly, right? There should be a way to actually come up with new ideas for my game, right? And so we usually need a lot of ideas. During my career, I find that something that not all games actually works. So in especially in mobile games, 1 out of 10 games actually works, actually make money. So that means we need a lot of ideas. In some points, you need to always have a lot of ideas in order to create new games all the time. But is there a way to do that? Is there a way we come up with these ideas? The answer is yes and no. Uh, yeah, there is some practices that actually you can do to prepare your mind actually to come up with new ideas. It's all about how you think. So let's just start with this. Everything is start with an idea. So doesn't matter if you're a one person, a solo developer, or you're a startup or a small team or a big team or a very big corporation. You always need to start with an idea. Even studios like Blizzard, EA Games, even Microsoft, uh, they didn't have the product or the game at the beginning, right? So they always start with idea. Usually, one person with one piece of paper or one laptop, a thing can come up with the idea, and then the whole business, the whole designer, the whole development actually come after that. So, but ideas are like seeds. They don't just show up fully formed. So they usually slowly evolve, growing from combination of childhood passions, random moments, random thoughts, inspiration, and anything basically. So you shouldn't usually be, when we want to create an idea, we shouldn't just force ourselves to just think about one idea about the idea. So we need to first know how our brain works, and prepare it for to create the ideas. So how do we do that? We usually have a lot of thoughts in our minds. We think about everything basically all the time, non-stop. There's no point we can stop our brain to process, right? Uh, Unless we are asleep. So, but most of the thinking, most of the thoughts in our brain is just junk. It's things that doesn't matter. When we think about what I said yesterday, what I'm gonna eat tomorrow, what should I do for my future? All this junk thinking is processing in our minds, and it's always going on and going on for it's non-stop. So first thing we need to do, we have to change the direction of our thoughts to the direction that actually focus on something, focus on an idea. So the way we do that, we should tell ourselves and we should practice with our mind. So in this specific time of the day, I want to focus to create an idea for something, for your game, for your shooting game, for your puzzle game, or anything you want to do. When you do that, when you force your brain to focus on something, focus on creating an idea, so your brain actually can have a task. It's not just random junk thinking in your brain anymore, not a random process in your brain. Your brain have a purpose, have a task to do something, right? So its first phase is to prepare your mind and know what you want exactly. Is creating an idea for a game, right? When you do that, all these thoughts come and go, but one of them, usually uh, one of them or few of them, become more serious in your brain. So you're thinking about different thing, a different idea. One of them actually makes sense for you. So then you can change the thoughts to an idea. So how we look for them? Ideas are everywhere. Movies, your dream, other games, nature, stars, galaxy, books, even weird bugs in other games. Believe me, that actually happened a lot. So you saw a bug in your game or someone else's game, and actually that actually inspired you to create another idea based on that. That actually happened for me too. So I was designing this game. It was platform that bunch of players basically push each other off the platform. And I designed all this character. They walk normally, but one day I mistakenly I set up the ragdoll of one of these characters in the wrong way. Then I test my game, and the character walk very weird, like limping and a very funny way. It's like lame, right? And at the beginning, I thought, so this is a bug. Oh, this doesn't look good. But after a few seconds, I thought, this is so funny, actually. So, and that changed everything. That changed our whole concept of that game. So we changed all this character uh, to that lame ragdoll. Actually, all of them, the walking lame and funny in the scene and push each other off the platform. So that changed the whole concept of the game. So you need to uh, look for everything, and it using other references, other games, other movies, and look at the nature, everything you can. You have a lot of these are actually these references actually can direct your mind, your thoughts toward ideas, new ideas actually. So, but most important thing that we have is observation. So observation basically is the greatest tool that human have actually. So if you go back to the history, all our achievements, all our uh, inspiration, all the invention comes from observation. So the way we look at the world, like physics, astrophysics, gravity, everything, airplane, everything we have today is happens because an observation. Because one person look at birds and inspired, so birds can fly. Why not humans, right? So that inspiration and observation uh, force him to create airplane, right? Because everything else basically. That's why observation is the most important tool for us. So as a designer, this is a very good thing for you. This is one of your most important tasks, that observe environment around you. That's very important. When you have a when you live your life, you have random thoughts in your mind. But when you want to design something, design an idea for a game or for anything else, your observation is different. You look around you with a little bit differently, right? So you look around you and finding the mechanics, how the world works, how airplane works, how doors works, how animal or how everything, how cars works, right? How viruses works, right? And so if you look around you, there's so many mechanics out there. There's so many things actually working around you, and actually makes sense, right? For example, if you look closely to viruses or cells, human body cells, they have so many mechanics that actually with doing that all non-stoply, they can survive in their environments. For example, viruses survive by infecting other cells, right? And they have mechanics to do that. They have mechanics to move. They have mechanics to observe these cells. They have mechanics to infect these cells. So when you look at them closely, that actually you find a lot of things. You find a lot of mechanics that actually can easily turn to ideas, right? So all this happened by observing how the world around you, how the nature works. Like everything human being does last few thousand years directly come from observing the environment and nature around us. Uh, so with that, with yeah, when you direct your brain or your mind toward that, then you look the world differently. Then you look for mechanics. You look for ideas from that point. You just not wait for this idea come to your brain, and all those thinking and thoughts in your brain now have a direction to find how other things works and turn them into ideas. So, but after you get your ideas, is it can be anything. So you turn this idea to a concept. You shouldn't start with coding usually. You just start with a simple concept, and it's usually it's grow backwards. So that means first you have your first core concept. uh, for example, you want to create a puzzle game, or you want to create Angry Bird, for example, right? You just first you design your core concept, how your core concept works, how to create, how the main idea works. Then you start building your words, right? You shouldn't start with the word. Why? Because after you create your core concept, you need to ask yourself, so with this concept, with this core, what kind of world should I build? What kind of character do I need? What kind of weapons do I need? So you build everything backward based on your core concept. So the whole thing is creating idea, the research and look and observe how uh, different thing around us work and turn them to ideas and concepts. But there's one more step you have to do. Idea by themselves are not ready yet. So we need to turn them into game core mechanics, something that actually is fun for other users to do. So, what is core game mechanics? I'm sure all of you know, but let's review it again. Central action that players perform repeatedly and that defines the overall gameplay experience. So, that means your main mechanics, your main action in your game, that you build everything else around it, right? So you need to, after you find the idea, you need to turn it to the game core mechanic. Without the game core mechanic, the idea doesn't work, right? Some ideas are looks nice, looks uh, like a cool game, but they are not fun. That's why the next step is turn these ideas to core game mechanics, right? So turn them to the game, to something that actually people wants to play, and when they play, they having fun. Uh, so always start your core game mechanics very simple. You need to always start simple because you want to test it first. don't go don't make GTA 6 at the beginning. I see this a lot of time. People, young developers, yeah, make this mistake when they design something, when they want to test their first game mechanic. They add a lot of details. They think like a GTA 6, or they think like a complete game. You shouldn't do that. Actually distract your mind. Always start with the main core game mechanic, right? The mechanic that actually the most important mechanics or action in your game. For example, in Angry Bird, uh, it's shooting birds. That's it, right? And so if you design a lot of thing around it and want to test it after that, so there's too many things you need to balance. It usually doesn't work like that. So after you design you have your idea, you turn it to the concept, and then your first core game mechanics, your main mechanics that everything works around it, right? And just that you test that, right? So let me give you three example of uh, simple core game mechanics to a finished game. So most of you should know these three games, right? Flappy Bird, Angry Bird, and Minecraft. Uh, they look different, but they have a lot of things in common actually. All these three games made by one or two person. All these three games made millions of dollars. And most importantly, all these three games have very simple core game mechanics. Very simple idea and very simple core game mechanics. For example, Flappy Bird use muscle memory. Angry Bird use destruction. People like destroy different things, right? So that's a very core concept, good core concept. Minecraft, construction. People like to build things. You see, simple ideas around us. People like to build things. Minecraft. People like to destroy things. Angry Bird. Muscle memory and endless level. People in Flappy Bird uh, like to beat their own score or other people's score. Competition, right? You see, when you look around you, uh, you may find a lot of mechanics and ideas exactly like these three, but they're around you. You just need to look at it, observe it, and turn them into a game mechanics, right? For example, uh, there's so many things that is actually fun for human being without even knowing it. For example, if I give you the pencil and or a ping pong ping pong ball and ask you to okay, sit down for 30 minutes, you just don't hold that ball or pencil. You just want to click the pencil or bounce the ball, throw the ball to the wall or something, or to the floor. You want always want to do something with it, you know. All this simple thing, we can use all this simple thing that exist around us if you just need to look at them, right? Like these three games, they use exactly same method. They observe, they find very simple thing that actually is so fun for a human being. They turn these ideas that is very simple to a core game mechanics. It's so simple, but it creates, after they design and add all these features, it became Minecraft or Angry Bird or Flappy Bird. $1 million idea for game. It wasn't $1 million at the beginning, don't forget. They never, Minecraft designer or Angry Bird designer, they never sit down and thought, okay, I'm gonna make a game, the biggest game in the history of human being. No, they never does that. They sit down and look around and they thought, I'm gonna design something that is actually fun. That's it. And then everything is come after that. You build the whole thing, your whole graphic, all character, all environments, all sub game mechanics, all the scoring system, combat system, and everything else around that simple core game mechanics. But that simple core game mechanics should be fun. Uh, so this is how we do it actually. After you make sure your idea is good and and you turn that to game core mechanics and you think is funny and you test it. So we sketch it out. You just, if you can write something about it, or draw something or find some images or references, make a basic prototype, even if it's ugly, doesn't matter. When this point doesn't matter. Uh, you should test it. Ask your friend to test it. You shouldn't test it alone. Always use other people's help to for testing because they may have other opinion and it's usually useful. And then iterate. You should do it again and again and again. Sketch, design, prototype, test. Design, prototype, test. And after that, you build your first prototype. Prototype is a bit more serious. It's not just simple core game mechanic. You have your environment very simply, and you add some UI, UX, some sub game mechanics, and some other systems into your game. But it's still, it is just for test, and basically become a plan for your game. How you build, how you finalize your game. And then three things that we always do for the game: design, develop, and deliver. So you just start with the idea, then prototyping and development, and then you deliver. And then listen to your users when you deliver the game. The game designer job never stops. You shouldn't stop designing or thinking after you publish your game, especially for mobile game. After you publish, actually you need to, based on what your users say, what your user review and feedback, you always need to change, add more ideas to your game, and also make updates, right? And one final lesson is development is a craft, right? So you have a lot of tools. Your brain is your most important tool, your observation, uh, and you always have to change it and iterate and test it again. It's like a crafting something. Is there's no simple way to do that. There's no shortcut to do that, and there's no preset. You craft something for yourself. If you build something without your signature on it, is actually people not gonna like it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. So, Ipo, do you have a question for me?
Yeah, so anyone, if you have a question, let me know. Let's see. So I have a question here. So when you should like accept defeat, for example, when you have an idea and you want to pursue it, but when is the time you like have to accept like this is not the right time, the market is not fit for this idea, and there are many like variable and many factors that this idea it start as a good idea, but then slowly for many reasons it's just not fit into as a moment. So when you like decide maybe I should stop this idea and then I should moving on and continue to the next idea.
Yeah. So I think this is my personal opinion. I think there's no ideas that the actually market is not ready for it, right? That's actually never happens. In any time in any year, in any phase in the market, if you have an idea that actually fun, especially about the game, if you have idea is fun for user, they wants to play, it's always work. Doesn't matter what the stage we have. Is it Web 2? Is it Web 3? Or what is the economy or whatever? Uh, the in game design perspective, uh, because games can be anything, right? There's infinite ways you can build your game. There's infinite ideas out there, right? There's billions and billions. If you make games from today to 3,000 years later, still there are new ideas. They never finish. But whenever you have a good idea that actually people wants to play, it always works. So because the market doesn't know how your imagination, how your brains create an idea, it can be amazing. So the only way something doesn't work is the we design something is not fun. People don't want to play. So in order to achieve that, we that's why we need to when we have an idea, we need to uh, create our core game mechanic and test it. And I specifically mentioned that you need to let other people test because sometimes you trick yourself. You design something is actually not that fun, but you think it's fun because and you never let other people test it, your friends or anyone. Uh, then yeah, when you launch it, people play it and have very bad feedback, right? Then you think the market is not ready. No, your idea is not ready, not the market. Market always wants fun. Always people around you, around the world, they always want something fun. There's no point of no, we stop. We don't want to have fun anymore. We just want to leave it boring. That never happened. So the product is all about the idea. Is all about your idea is ready or not, and that's how we do it. We let other people test. That's why at the beginning I also said uh, we always need a lot of ideas, right? Because not everything works. You design different things, you create concepts and test them and let other people test, and then find your idea that actually works. It doesn't. It's all about the game design, right?
uh, so I have an thank you for the answer. I hope that answer the question. uh, and what do you think is the biggest mistake people made when building their first prototype?
Yeah, that's very actually very common thing. They add a lot of details, too many details. You know, like the prototype and prototype, first few prototype actually, is all about testing your core game mechanic. The mechanic that actually is the most important action in your game, most important mechanics in your game. That everything works around that. Everything works because of that core game mechanics. So your core game mechanic by itself should be fun. Should be something people actually want to spend time. Uh, Details doesn't help you. If you have a bad core game mechanic and add millions of details, cool environments and character and everything, people are not gonna play. So the most important and most common mistake is for prototype that is based on my experience is adding too much details to it, adding sub mechanics, adding few other game mechanics to it, adding a lot of UI UX, build the graphic. This is the most worst thing you can do when you're in prototype. At the same time, you spend time, spend energy, spend money to build the graphic too. Build high quality graphic, build UI. You shouldn't do that in the uh, prototype phase, in testing phase. And the second uh, common mistake is uh, don't letting other people test your game. So that's very important. You need second opinion. You need to reach to other people. That's why we have testers, right? You need to. You cannot, as a game developer, as a game designer, you can judge, but your judgment is not always correct. You need other people's judgment because they are gonna be your users. You're not gonna be your users. You know, you don't build the game for yourself, right? You need people to play, people to pay for it actually. So that's these two actually were, I think, most important mistake, especially for young developers, solo developers. I know this sometimes the your product is in the even my product when it's in the prototype is ugly. Uh, it doesn't look good, doesn't have any effect, but doesn't matter. Let other people test. And if a concept or core game mechanic is fun, uh, people are gonna find out. At least you can look how they play and inspired by them, or find some bugs or problem. So your controller have problem, but people don't understand your concept. At least you can find that, right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Majid. Anyone have any more question? Uh, if there's no more question, we can move to the quiz section about workshop today. So just scan the QR and join. Guys, do you want to join Majid? Even though you still can join, so we keep out some reward if you want.
Hmm.
Sayu, Lúc Chín, John, VJ, Free Soy Đáp, you guys joining? Okay. I saw Bruno and Breno and Rambo 4 Studio was type chatting a lot, but they not. I don't think they are joining. Okay, so I think we can start now.
Yeah,
What
one the
about
last
you,
thing.
John? You haven't. John hasn't won. Have you won anything, John? I think VJ won, Free Sodep, and oh, VJ and Sayu won twice already. Okay, so let's get started.
Described as greatest tool human beings have is observation. You know,
Oh no, don't answer it. No, no, don't answer it. That is supposed to be the challenge.
oh, I shouldn't
If you
answer
want to
that,
play,
right?
you need to scan it. If
Oh,
you want
okay.
to play, you need to scan the QR and play. If you like, this point also depend on your speed of like answer. So like even if you miss some question, like just doesn't mean that you don't have chance of winning.
Correct, correct.
I think this is a easy question here. Like
Yeah.
still we have two wrong answer. Okay, so you win again.
Uh, congratulations.
This is the third time say you win. So
Oh,
give me,
nice.
yeah, yeah. Is Sayu a girl or a boy? I'm not sure. I think Sayu is a boy, right?
I don't know. But yeah, good. The three time in a row, right?
Congratulations, Sayu. So
Right.
if you need to look for a talent, like I highly recommend to check out Sayu.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
or she has been winning a lot. Like
You still
yeah,
don't know it's a boy or girl,
this
but
is the third time Sayu win.
that's great. That's great. That shows you actually have a good memory and listen carefully and passionate about games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Because like this game you cannot like it depend on the speed of your answer. So like if you screenshot and like ask AI, it gonna slow you down.
yeah,
So it's definitely like yeah, it's not like you can cheat in that kind of way.
yeah, definitely. Uh, so as for the ending this session, I want to tell something also to the viewers.
Yeah,
Uh, we talk about a lot of things. Process of building game from the idea to uh, development and publishing usually is hard, right? Uh, so in that case, your best friend is usually is your passion. How much you like this, right? Because you need to do this over and over and over. You need to listen to people who don't know anything about game, but they are your users. They have their own opinion. You have to listen to them. You have to iterate the testing and designing over and over. So the passion is in this stage. Your passion is your best friend. The more passionate you are about learning how to do it and observe the world around you and turn them into the game, you're gonna be more successful and you're gonna do much great games in the future. And yeah, always keep learning. Also, learning is most important thing. You need to learn all the time. As a game developer and a game designer, we never stop learning. Never. Yeah.
okay. I just like I think Sayu is a girl. And I just like a check. I'm sorry, I forgot about you, Sayu. But she's a girl and she's only 18. So like
Oh, that's great.
yeah, very
Are you
impressive with
the
her
game
knowledge and
developer or game designer?
I okay. She is study digital art.
Uh,
Uh,
Game designer,
so yeah. So if you have a job and then you need digital art and come to Sayu, so
definitely.
she's definitely like a top tier, like a yeah top talent here. Like she won 3 times already. Like
Oh, that's great.
so yeah.
That's great.
So highly recommended. Like it's good that we got some new talent here too.
Mhm. That's great. That's great. Thanks everybody for watching it, and thanks Ipo for having me. Uh, I think we have
Yeah.
another workshop also next week, right?
Okay, this is like the end for today. So thank you for joining. I
Thanks for
will keep say you her money. Uh, yeah. So I'm sorry I forgot like say your girlfriend, so I say many inappropriate thing, but I will give her money. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
See you guys next workshop. Take care.